Beluga. The beluga is a toothed whale, closely related to the dolphin, with a clearly defined head and short fins. Belugas are born either black or dark brown, without dorsal fins, and turn milky white in about 5 years. Males can attain a maximum length of 7 meters, females are somewhat smaller. Belugas travel in schools of several thousand, feeding on fish, octopus, crabs, snails, and squid. They are common to the Arctic Ocean and travel as far south as the state of New Jersey in the United States and the Rhine River in Europe. Manta ray. Manta rays are found in temperate and tropical waters near continents and island groups of all oceans. These cartilaginous fishes, also called devil rays and sea bats, have greatly extended, wing-like pectoral fins. The largest, the Atlantic manta, can measure 7 meters from tip to tip of these fins. The pair of forward-pointing lobes on each side of the head, with a presumed resemblance to a devil's horns, are used to guide plankton and small crustaceans into the fish's mouth as it cruises near the surface. Dense gill rakers extract the plankton. The fish is harmless to humans, but its thrashing when caught can be dangerous. Green sea turtle. The green sea turtle is a large turtle named for the color of its fat, although the animal is brownish overall. It is the fastest swimming turtle, reaching speeds up to 32 kilometers. The green sea turtle is common in all warm seas and may sometimes be found, in summertime, along the North Atlantic coasts of the United States and Europe. Adults may reach a shell length of more than 1 meter and a body weight of more than 180 kilograms. It can be distinguished from other sea turtles in that it has a single pair of large plates on top of the head between the eyes, a relatively smooth shell lacking any ridges, and only 4 large, non-overlapping plates on each side of the shell. The male never leaves the sea, the female leaves it only to lay her eggs. As many as 200 eggs are laid at night in sand above the reach of the sea. The young are hatched by the sun's heat and soon crawl into the sea. Green sea turtles are omnivorous but eat chiefly marine vegetation. They are prized by turtle hunters because their veal-like meat is a table delicacy used in turtle soup and turtle steak. Their eggs are also valued as food. Due to overhunting, the number of green sea turtles is rapidly decreasing. Blue marlin. The blue marlin is known for its long, sharp bill and its sleek, crescent-shaped tail. It eats octopi, squids, tuna, and mackerel and tends to hunt alone during the daytime, using its sharp bill as a weapon. It is highly migratory and moves toward the equator in winter and away from it in summer, over an area that spans much of the Atlantic Ocean. With its hydrodynamic shape and great strength, the blue marlin is one of the ocean's fastest swimmers. Some scientists consider the Atlantic blue marlin and the Indo-Pacific blue marlin to be separate species. Other scientists consider them to be all one species that spans the Atlantic, Pacific, and Indian Oceans. West Indian manatee. The manatee is popularly called a sea cow because it grazes on marine grasses and other water plants. The West Indian, or Caribbean, manatee is found in rivers and coastal waters from the southeastern United States and the Gulf of Mexico to the Caribbean Sea in northeastern Brazil. An adult manatee has a rounded body, usually colored light to dark gray or black, that tapers to a horizontally flattened, rounded tail. It is 2.5 to 4.5 meters long, depending on the species, and weighs 200 to 600 kilograms. The small head includes a straight snout and a cleft upper lip with bristly hairs. Its nostrils, set on the upper surface of the snout, are closed tightly by valves when the animal is underwater. The paddle-like forelimbs are set close to the head, no external hind limbs exist. Massive, heavy bones and long, narrow lungs, which extend through the entire body cavity, give the manatee evenly distributed buoyancy. A manatee cow gives birth about a year after mating, usually a single, pink calf is born. Manatees live in small family groups, although they occasionally travel in herds of 15 to 20. They feed in both freshwater and saltwater, grazing for 6 to 8 hours a day. An adult consumes an amount equal to between 5 and 10% of its body weight daily. Manatees have a slower metabolism than other mammals of similar size, which sharply reduces their energy requirements. This is especially important for Amazonian manatees when waters recede after floods, confining some for extended periods in shallow waters away from plants on river banks. Because of their size, manatees have few natural enemies. However, their population has been reduced significantly by heavy hunting for hides, meat, and blubber oil, and they are frequently injured or killed in collisions with boats. Efforts to protect manatees in Africa and South America sometimes conflict with the traditional subsistence hunting of these animals. A practical consideration that supports conservation efforts is the fact that manatees help clear plant-clogged river channels used for irrigation and transportation. California sea lion. The California sea lion is an intelligent, slender-bodied seal that is well known for its balancing acts as a circus performer and its presence in almost every zoo. Its gregarious personality, remarkable speed and agility on land, and lively bark-like vocalizations make this seal easily trainable and appealing to human audiences. In the wild, these shore-living seals are found along many areas of North America's western coast. Some populations are also found in the Galapagos Islands. Adult males, called bulls, average 360 kilograms in weight and 2.1 meters in length. Females, or cows, are smaller, with an average weight of 110 kilograms and an average length of 1.8 meters. Both sexes have chocolate-brown coats and dog-like muzzles. Males have protuberant foreheads caused by an internal bone ridge that anchors powerful chewing muscles. California sea lions eat squid and octopus, as well as a variety of fish, herring, rockfish, mackerel, anchovies, and lampreys. They hunt in shallow waters and often compete directly with a closely related species, Steller sea lions. In early June, bulls set up breeding territories, or rookeries, on sandy or rocky coasts. Each bull mates with a harem, or group of cows, composed of 5 to 20 females. Bulls defend their harem and territory with considerable energy and strategy, patrolling the area on land and in the water, barking loudly and posturing at trespassers, and sometimes fighting with intruding males. Each cow gives birth in the rookeries to a single pup approximately 1 year after conception. Mothers and newborns quickly learn each other's calls. The mother also memorizes her pup's scent. A mother takes her pup into the water with her early on and nurses it for an extended period of time, building a strong bond. As the pups grow, they form groups that frolic, feed, and nap together in the noisy rookery. When the pups are 2 to 3 weeks old, the cows mate again. Females remain near the rookeries, often on remote island beaches, while the males migrate north in the summer and fall after the breeding season. As coastal creatures, California sea lions are particularly vulnerable to toxic pollutants and human disruption of their habitat. They are preyed upon by sharks and killer whales, and they were also hunted by humans in the past. These animals have been protected from killing and harassment in United States waters since the Marine Mammal Protection Act was passed in 1972. Still, in the early 1980s, as many as 1,500 per year drowned after becoming entangled in gill nets. Recent attempts to regulate and limit gill net fisheries in California waters have decreased the number of deaths. Rockhopper penguin. Rockhopper penguins earned their name by hopping among boulders on the rocky islands they inhabit. They are a subantarctic species of penguin, so they are found primarily on southern islands such as the Falklands, Macquarie Island, and the Antipodes. Sporting a handsome, distinctive crest and blood-red eyes, rockhoppers are as aggressive as their intense stare suggests. It is common for them to fight over premium nesting sites on the rocky terrain they inhabit. Small and powerful, their webbed feet and flippers make them formidable swimmers and hunters. Rockhoppers prey on lanternfish, krill, and sometimes small squid. They are themselves prey to blue sharks, leopard seals, and fur seals, and their eggs and chicks are often vulnerable on land to gulls and other birds. Because they make their nests on rocky shorelines, their ability to hop out of the water and up onto the rocks is an important survival skill. Short-finned pilot whale. The short-finned pilot whale is actually a species of the dolphin family. The short-finned pilot whale occurs in tropical and warm temperate waters throughout the world's oceans. The long-finned pilot whale occurs in the North Atlantic Ocean as far north as Greenland, Iceland, and northern Norway. A separate southern hemisphere group occurs in cold temperate to Antarctic waters. Although their range once included the North Pacific Ocean, long-finned pilot whales have not been sighted there recently. The two species both occur in some temperate areas, especially around South America and in the North Atlantic. Pilot whales of both species grow to about 6 meters in length. Males are slightly larger than females, and the long-finned pilot whales are slightly larger than the short-finned. Members of both species have a large, rounded head and a very large dorsal fin. They are generally black to dark brown or gray, with a light patch, sometimes called a saddle patch, just behind the dorsal fin. A second light patch is common on the upper belly to just below the chin. Pilot whales communicate by means of complex rasping sounds and squeals, and they can probably identify one another by these calls. They use echolocation to make out their surroundings, that is, they send out high-frequency clicks that bounce off prey and other objects and use the returning echoes to distinguish the objects. Pilot whales are deep divers that feed primarily on squid. They are very gregarious, and groups commonly number in the low hundreds. Each male probably mates with several females. Females give birth to a single calf, and although they can no longer bear young after age 35, they often continue to suckle young for at least 14 more years. This suggests that females take prolonged care of their young and that they may also care for the young of pilot whales or deep divers that feed primarily on squid. They are very gregarious, and groups commonly number in the low hundreds. Each male probably mates with several females. Females give birth to a single calf, and although they can no longer bear young after age 35, they often continue to suckle young for at least 14 more years. This suggests that females take prolonged care of their young and that they may also care for the young of sisters and possibly of daughters. Groups of pilot whales run aground more often than do groups of other whale species. Such strandings of the longfin species are common in New England and off the coast of New Zealand. It is not known whether mass strandings are triggered by navigational error, disease, or both, but it is clear that the close-knit society of pilot whales is so cohesive that when several individuals strand themselves, others will do so as well. Because schools of pilot whales are so cohesive, it has been relatively easy to hunt them, especially by methods in which a school is herded into the shallows of a coastal bay and gaffed or clubbed. Historically, such hunting of pilot whales was much more prevalent. Hunting of longfin pilot whales is still conducted off the coast of Greenland and around the Faroe Islands of Denmark, and hunting of shortfin pilot whales still occurs off the coast of Japan. It is believed that pilot whale populations in the North Atlantic have been reduced by hunting. Leatherback sea turtle. The leatherback turtle is the largest living turtle. The carapace, or upper shell, of the leatherback can reach 2.4 meters in length and weigh more than 900 kilograms. The leatherback occurs farther north and south than other sea turtles in the Atlantic, Pacific, and Indian Oceans, and sometimes in the Mediterranean Sea. Although it may spend much time in very cold waters, the leatherback is able to maintain its body temperature well above that of the water because of its large size and by muscular activity. Unlike other sea turtles, the leatherback lacks large, horny scales on its carapace and plastron. Instead, it has leathery skin in which a mosaic of small bones is embedded. There are 7 distinctive longitudinal ridges on the carapace and 5 ridges on the plastron. The turtle is blackish or blue-black, usually with small irregular white or pink spots or blotches. The limbs are strong and paddle-shaped for swimming long distances. The front limbs are quite large, especially in the young. The male spends its adult lifetime in the sea, the female emerges only to lay eggs on beaches. Leatherbacks are not edible, and their flesh has a particularly high oil content. They feed mostly on jellyfish but also eat seaweed, sea urchins, squids, and mollusks. Sea otter. The sea otter is native to the American and Asian shores of the North Pacific Ocean. Similar in appearance and in aquatic habits to the Eurasian and North American otters, it is of sturdy build and reaches a length of 1 to 1.2 meters. Sea otters feed mainly on mollusks and sea urchins, which they crush with their large, blunt teeth. Sea otters also regularly use rocks as tools to open shellfish while swimming on their backs. The female gives birth to a single offspring at a time, which she nurses while lying on her back in the water. The sea otter is the only marine mammal lacking an insulating layer of blubber, which serves to protect the animal from the frigid ocean waters. To compensate for this lack of blubber, the sea otter must constantly preen its fur, keeping it meticulously clean and allowing an insulating layer of air to be trapped against the skin. When contaminated by oil, sea otters lose the ability to protect themselves against cold ocean waters, since the oil mats the fur, preventing the insulating airspace from forming. In addition, the sea otter will ingest the oil as it cleans its fur, usually causing illness and death. The pelt of the sea otter is one of the most highly prized of all furs. The brown inner fur is soft, dense, and woolly and is overlaid by the coarser and longer gray-tipped hairs of the outer fur. Once abundant, sea otters were hunted almost to extinction during the first half of the 20th century. Subsequent protective measures increased their numbers along the coasts of California and Alaska. Narwhal. The narwhal is a robust-bodied, toothed whale, occurring only in deep waters of the high Arctic, usually close to floating ice. It is closely related to the beluga whale. Narwhals are mottled black and white. Females grow to 4.2 meters in length, and males to 4.7 meters. Narwhals have only 2 teeth, both in the upper jaw. The left tooth of the adult male continues to grow, spiraling forward from the head, until the tusk is up to 3 meters long. Including this tusk, the overall body length of an older male may be nearly 8 meters. Narwhals often occur in small pods of about 12 animals, which are parts of larger herds. They migrate seasonally as the ice edge moves, and they can be found in remarkably thick ice. Fish, squid, and shrimp make up their diet. The members of a herd may segregate themselves according to age and sex, especially during migration. In such cases, subadult male or adult male groups can be easily distinguished by the size of their tusks. The social system of narwhals is not known, although researchers believe that males may display or fight one another for access to females. Males have been observed to use their tusks for sparring with other males at or above the surface of the water, and males may occasionally be seen with their tusks partially broken off or with tusks embedded in their bodies. Actual spearing of one male by another, however, is probably less common. A mature female may give birth once every 3 years. Gestation lasts about 15 months, and a single calf is born in the summer. Narwhals are hunted by Inuits and some northern Europeans for their skin, meat, blubber, and especially for their tusks. The tusk is used as an ornament, both whole and carved, and is sometimes ground into a powder for reputed medicinal purposes. Although the existence of the species does not appear to be threatened, local overhunting of individual narwhals and of their food supply may be limiting populations. Blacktip reef shark. The blacktip reef shark is a small shark that can grow up to 2 meters long, but it is usually less than 1.6 meters. Its name comes from the pronounced black tip above a light-colored band on its primary dorsal fin. Also, it tends to inhabit shoreline areas and coral reefs. The blacktip reef shark lives primarily on a diet of fish, but its serrated teeth can also chew crustaceans and cephalopods. In the waters off the coast of Australia, they also eat a large number of snakes. While not listed as endangered, these sharks are constantly in danger of depletion because of the combination of long gestation periods and small litter sizes when they reproduce. They are also sought after as food in restaurants. Scalloped hammerhead. The scalloped hammerhead shark is among 10 related species of hammerhead sharks found throughout tropical and temperate seas. Large flattened extensions of the head give these fish a hydroplane-like lift and enable them to make sharper turns than other sharks. The eyes and nostrils, by being spaced at the ends of the hammerhead, also give them a greater ability to track prey. The great hammerhead, a large-toothed, powerful swimmer more than 4 meters long, has attacked divers. 2 other large species also considered dangerous are the scalloped hammerhead and the smooth hammerhead. Some species, such as the bonnethead, which grows only 1 meter long and is common to Florida shores, have spade-shaped heads. Bottlenose dolphin. The bottlenose dolphin is the best studied and generally the best known species of dolphin. It occurs along almost all tropical and temperate coasts. Bottlenose dolphins are coastal in most areas and usually remain in groups fewer than 20. Offshore varieties also exist, and in deep water, groups can be as large as 200. Some populations make seasonal migrations. Bottlenose dolphins are named for their snout, which is distinctly set off from the head, like the neck of a bottle. The animals are generally dark gray or black above, with a lighter belly. The length of adults varies, from about 2 meters to about 4 meters. Males are slightly larger than females, and cold-water bottlenose dolphins are larger than their warm-water counterparts. Bottlenose dolphins have a prominent, curved dorsal fin with a thin trailing edge that readily tatters. This distinctive tattering has been used by researchers to identify and track individuals and groups. Bottlenose dolphins feed on many different types of prey, including shrimp, squid, other invertebrates, and fish. The dolphins feed by nosing into rocky crevasses near shore, by chasing fish onto mud banks and snapping them up while they are beached, or by cooperatively herding prey into dense clusters against a shore or to the surface of the water. The dolphins also take advantage of human fisheries, usually by following shrimp boats for the prey that they stir up and for the catch that is tossed overboard. Bottlenose dolphins are gregarious and most appear to stay together for life. Females reach sexual maturity after 5 to 12 years and males after 9 to 13 years. After a gestation period of about 12 months, a single calf is born. Calves nurse for up to 18 months. The dolphins communicate by means of a rich repertoire of whistles and rasping sounds, and some individuals appear to have a signature whistle. Bottlenose dolphins are able to discriminate even small objects by echolocation, that is, they send out high-frequency clicks that bounce off prey and other objects and then use the returning echoes to distinguish the objects. Bottlenose dolphins are often considered the most adaptable of the cetaceans because they live amid industrial activity around harbors and ship channels in many parts of the world. They have recently become the subject of dolphin watching and other tourist activities, and they are the most commonly kept dolphins in zoos and marine aquaria. Bottlenose dolphins have been hunted for meat, fertilizer, and oil, but their numbers do not appear to have been significantly reduced except in the Black Sea, where pollution and overfishing of the dolphins' prey have caused as much damage to them as direct killing. False killer whale. The false killer whale is named, obviously, for its deceptive similarity in appearance to the orca whale. The two animals do have similar skulls, but they are not closely related biologically. They also have similar colorings, but in different patterns. The false killer whale is primarily black or dark gray, with a white blaze only on its underside. The orca displays white markings on many other parts of its body. The false killer whale is found all over the world in both temperate and tropical waters, but it is not plentiful in any one particular place. It eats many kinds of fish, including salmon, squid, tuna, mackerel, and mahi-mahi. False killer whales are very gregarious and travel in large groups. Groups with fewer than 100 animals are considered small and put the whales in danger of becoming genetically extinct, because they are so genetically similar that they will soon suffer the problems that come with inbreeding. Goblin shark. The goblin shark is a deep-water shark that is rarely seen in shallow coastal waters or anywhere on the surface of the ocean. Its skin is pinkish-white with blue fins, and it has a long, flat nose that protrudes separately from its very large mouth. It is also a fairly large shark. Males have been measured at 3.8 meters long. It feeds on other bottom-dwelling animals, shrimps, octopus, squid, and sometimes even crabs. Because it stays in deep water, it almost never comes into contact with humans in the wild. The goblin shark is thought to be globally dispersed. Actual sightings of this species have come off the coasts of Japan, Australia, and southern Africa. Pacific walrus. The walrus is a large marine mammal found in the Arctic regions at the edge of the polar ice along the northeastern coasts of Canada and Siberia, Kamchatka, the northwestern coast of Alaska, Greenland, northern Norway, and Ellesmere Island. Two populations of the walrus exist, the Atlantic walrus and the Pacific walrus. Like eared seals, walruses can turn their hind limbs forward and thus use all four limbs in moving when ashore. Walruses range from 2.7 to 3.56 meters in length and weigh 800 to 1,700 kilograms. Males are larger than females. Both the male and female have massive bodies with thick, wrinkled, hairy skin that becomes nearly hairless with age. Both have relatively small heads with no external ears. A fold of skin marks the location of the ear. They have broad, bristled muzzles, and enormously elongated upper canine teeth forming heavy tusks. The tusks, about 1 meter long in some males, are used as weapons in fighting and as hooks in climbing on the ice. Although it was once thought that the tusks were also used to rake the ocean bottom for mollusks and shellfish, which constitute the principal food of the walrus, it is now believed that the sensitive whiskers and fleshy snout play a primary role in detecting and removing prey from the ocean floor. Walruses are highly social animals, congregating in herds sometimes numbering several thousand animals on or near the shore or among the ice floes. The bellowing of a herd can be heard for great distances. Walruses are gentle unless attacked. The whole herd will come to the defense of a member in danger. Polar bears are the chief natural predator of the walrus, and humans hunt the animal for its valuable ivory tusks and for its flesh and blubber. Excessive hunting has reduced the world population sharply. Whale shark. The whale shark is the largest known fish native to tropical seas around the world. The whale shark may attain a length of more than 15 meters and weigh more than 18 metric tons. Deep blue above and white below, it is darker in color than most sharks, but its body is marked with white spots and vertical lines. On its head and back are several broad, longitudinal ridges. It has a wide, flattened snout with the mouth at the front, not below, and its jaws hold numerous small teeth. The gill openings are exceptionally large. The whale shark feeds on small fishes and plankton strained out of the seawater by its long gill rakers. It is harmless to humans. Young whale sharks hatch from fertilized eggs inside the body of the female and are then born alive to the outside. White shark. The great white shark has a conical instead of flattened snout, black eyes, and large, serrated, arrowhead-shaped teeth. The upper and lower lobes of the tail are almost equal in size, and the body is blue or brown-gray, not white, except on the underside. Although the great white shark is notorious as a movie villain, little information exists about its behavior. One of the largest specimens caught was off Montauk, Long Island, New York, in 1964. It was 5.34 meters long and weighed an estimated 2,043 kilograms. White sharks swallow unshod creatures and objects half their size, especially seals, dolphins, turtles, other sharks, chunks of whale, fish, and ship's garbage. Between 1916 and 1969, there were 32 attacks on swimmers, resulting in 13 deaths, attributed to white sharks. On 3 occasions white sharks were reported to have attacked boats, sinking one of them, a dory, off Cape Breton, Nova Scotia, Canada. Off Australian coasts, where most of the big game specimens are taken, one female, recognized by its scars, returned for 13 years. Although the white shark exhibits great strength and terrifies humans with whom it happens to come in contact, most authorities agree that its villainous reputation is undeserved. Some specialists believe it is endangered due to its shrinking food sources and overfishing by trophy hunters. Orca. The orca whale, or killer whale, is an aquatic mammal that is the largest member of the dolphin family. The killer whale is so named because of its voracious appetite for fish, seabirds, sea turtles, and aquatic mammals. But this name can cause confusion. The orca whale is a member of the dolphin family Delphinidae. Orca whales have a well-defined social structure based around the dominant female. They rely largely on sound for communication and for locating prey, including clicking sounds, screams, whistles, and pulsed calls. Orca whales occur in more parts of the world than any other aquatic mammal. They inhabit all the oceans, both in the open ocean and close to shore. They are more commonly found in colder waters, but they also occur in the warmer waters of the Bahamas, Caribbean, and Hawaii. Orca whales have even been seen in some rivers. The orca whale's ferocious eating habits have long aroused both fear and respect for the animal in many indigenous peoples, especially the Native Americans of the Pacific Northwest. The Tlingit, Kwakiutl, and Haida tribes incorporate images of the animal into their totem art, and illustrations of the animal appear on masks, dishes, helmets, and blankets. Despite its fierce reputation, some cultures, such as the Tlingit, believe that the orca whale is a kindly guardian of ocean food. They believe the presence of orca whales helps humans harvest large amounts of fish.